Welcome back to Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing. I'm Rod Khleif, and I am thrilled that you're here. You're going to get tremendous value from the lady I'm interviewing today. Her name is Jazmin Salinas, and Jazmin is a serial entrepreneur, which is exactly what I am, which I freaking love. And she's a co-author of a book called Powerful Female Immigrants. She's in 1,300 multifamily units as a sponsor, co-sponsor, and working with several of my students, several of my warriors actually in that enterprise. And yeah, welcome.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Now, we always start with having you give us a little bit of your background. So you've got a very interesting background, and it's a very brief bio, but it says a lot in a very little amount here. So, expand on it a little bit and give us a little background on who you are and why real estate, when you immigrated, the whole spiel.
So yeah, I always been an entrepreneur. I actually had my first business when I was 15, hired my first employee when I was 15. And ever since, I never pursued the corporate world. Mm-hmm. I got my degree on business management with entrepreneurship. But then things changed for me. I was born and raised in Mexico, and then we have to move to United States. And pretty much I had to start all over again.
Where did you move in the States?
Houston.
Houston, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start over again. I didn't speak English. I had to start my degree. And it was very challenging.
And when was this?
11 years ago.
Okay, all right. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wasn't sure what kind of business I wanted. So I was just saving money. Mm. I had the honor to have my dad as my coach, my entrepreneur coach, and he was telling me, whatever business you're going to start, you're going to need money.
Was your dad an entrepreneur?
Yes.
Okay, so he was your entrepreneur coach. Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Saving money. And at one point, I had $45,000 in my bank account. And nice. I was like, I know I can do something with this. This is not a lot, but this is not too little. I can do something. But here's the frustration that I didn't know what kind of business to start. So I was like, while I figure something out, I'm going to get in real estate because that's the safest place to put my money. So I started exploring slightly what to do. And I came across land, and I bought my first piece of land.
You came across land. Okay. And you bought a piece of land with the intention of what?
No, I wasn't sure.
I see. You just saw some land in Houston and you bought it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to have my money in the bank anymore because it wasn't doing anything.
Right.
So I knew in land, at least it was going to appreciate.
Okay.
I knew real estate.
So you're banking on appreciation?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Would I have talked you out of that if it was just for appreciation? But anyway, all right.
Exactly.
There's no cash flow.
Exactly.
Just taxes to pay. But please continue because I know you turned it into something.
Yeah. So after that, I started exploring all the real estate. I got the opportunity to do sales for the real estate investment firm. And I started learning how investors think and all
what were you selling for a real estate investing firm?
Single family land and a small multifamily.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you get your real estate license?
No, I didn't.
You were just selling on their payroll. Got it. Okay.
So that's when I started learning about real estate, and I found out I didn't get such a good deal on my lot. I pay higher than anybody else in the neighborhood. It was on the floodplain. It was a mess.
Wow.
So got it for $40,000 and sold it for $45,000. Rule number one.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye. Okay, that's okay. All right.
Rule number one, never lose money, right? So sold it. And after that, I just got the confidence to do it over and over again. And I turned that into a whole business.
Flipping land.
Yes.
And I was mentioning I've got a good friend, Jack Bosch, that teaches people how to do that. But you did it without any of that. You just learned from this investment career that you were doing. And so you started flipping land. Love it. It's a great business. Yeah. So at what point were you like, okay, maybe I should do something else?
I continue to do that.
Oh, you're still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing that because that's what funds my multifamily.
That's your cash flow.
Yes, that's my cash flow. But 2 years ago, I was thinking, like, this is just like, I think I came across a quote or something that is like, this is just like a get rich quick. But I wasn't building any wealth for the long term. This was just a job.
You're only as good as your last flip.
Exactly. You say that in your book. So I started exploring all these things about multifamily, and I came across your book.
Oh boy, it was all downhill from there. Good Lord. So you got my book. By the
Yeah.
way, guys, my book is freaking free. Okay, you pay $6 or something, and we'll ship it to you. If you go to Rod's, it's on Rod's links, isn't it, Matt? Yeah, go to Rod's links, and you can get it there. You just pay the shipping. But anyway, continue. So you got my book.
And I was actually trying to get in Airbnb, single family. And when I saw in your book that you say that at one point you owned 2,000 homes and how painful was to manage those properties and you ended up moving to multifamily,
Yes.
I was like, okay, so if I can skip the whole single family and go directly to multifamily, I'm going to do it.
You were smarter than me. So, well, good. And so what'd you do?
So I attended your boot camp.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were in Orlando in September. No,
No,
prior.
in Denver.
Oh, you went to the Denver boot
Yes.
camp. Oh, that's a special one for me
Yes.
because my mom was there
Yes.
before she died. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was behind the curtain crying like a little girl because she was out there. She's the whole reason I got into real estate. Yeah, that was a special one for me. But anyway, so you went to the Denver boot camp. You read the book. What'd you think of the book, by the way?
Oh, it was amazing.
Thank
It was
you.
like when my third eye opened to
Really?
a whole world
Oh,
of
thank you.
multifamily.
Thank you. I've never had a negative comment about the book ever, knock on wood, but never have. Nobody's ever said anything bad. So you came to the boot camp. Did you enjoy the boot camp?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That was like, just like you said, drinking from a fire hose.
Right. And you went to the Orlando one as well recently in September.
No,
you weren't there.
no,
You
I
went
did-
to Denver. You
Denver.
went to Orlando. Natalie's here with her from her team, and Natalie went to Orlando. Yeah. Did you like it, Natalie? She loved it. Okay. Thank you. I need the love. I need the
No, it was
the love.
amazing.
Thank you. So you went to the boot camp. Is that where you met my peeps?
No, I
Okay.
started connecting because that was like,
Right.
okay, this is what I want to
You
do
learned
next.
you learned we focus on networking, and this business is about who you know more than what you know.
Exactly.
Right.
And I didn't came across, the guys that I'm working with, but I just started networking. After that, I started looking for people who was doing that, who was crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for somebody who I could leverage their experience,
Of
their
course,
track
Of course.
record.
Of course.
Because, all these things that you teach us on the bootcamp were very intimidating for me. Like, I'm not a numbers person. I was like, if I wait until I understand the whole
You'll never start.
underwriting,
You'll never start.
it's
Right.
gonna take me 200 years.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, let me just connect with somebody. So I started connecting with everybody, and I came across amazing people from the Warriors group.
From the Warrior program.
Yes.
Yeah. Michael and John and
Yes.
Alex and all these guys. So you aligned with them, and they're in Houston then as well?
No, just Mike is in Houston.
Okay. That's right. Alex is in like Vegas or somewhere.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
uh-huh.
Yeah. All Warriors killing it. Mike is killing it, and well, you aligned with some good guys.
Oh, yes.
And so I know that. Well, keep talking. Then what happened?
I was clear that this is what I want to do, and at the beginning I started connecting with everybody, but once I met Mike Bailey and his team, I was like, these are the guys, these are my people who I want to work with, and I just wanted to add value to them. I wasn't thinking like, oh, what's my GP share, what's in it for me. I was just hungry to learn. I wanted to add value because they were so aligned to what I wanted to do.
That's a clue, guys. Okay, when you come at it from wanting to add value rather than what can I get, people take you seriously, and so they took you seriously. And I know you went in there and co-sponsored 1,300 units with them and raised money for those units. You're involved in asset management and marketing for them, and I was just giving her kudos because they do a bang-up job with their marketing, and if she's plays a big role in that, I was actually very impressed because I was very impressed with some of the marketing they do. Talk about raising money for your first deal. Was it scary?
Yes.
Okay, talk about it. So, where was it? How much were you supposed to raise? How much were you supposed to raise? And how much did you actually raise? And talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it was my first deal, and I wasn't sure how much I had to raise. I don't
okay.
think they gave me a number,
They
but they
didn't.
told me like we need money. So
Okay.
here I am. I was calling every single person that we had, and I think I raised 150,000.
Oh, that's all. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's funny. That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, Yeah, we're raising money for a deal right now, and it's 12 million. So anybody wants to get involved with us, they've got to do at least $1 million. Yeah, no, that's awesome. And then you liked it, and you just kept going with it, huh?
Yes, to me it was like, okay, I'm new.
Right.
And of course, people don't know what I do. Like, right. It's not like you can ask people for money, are they gonna award it? It's building a whole relationship. It's putting yourself out there. So that's why I started like going hard on it, and I attended every single event, start building relationships, putting myself out there, and everything switched for me.
No, that's fantastic. So now I know. As far as you're raising money, because you were brand new, it's hard to be taken seriously. That's why it was hard to raise much for your first one. What sorts of things do you do as you're building these relationships, and is there anything you do to develop the relationship? Speak to that a little bit as it relates to raising money from investors.
Yes. So the first thing, I think it's very important to be with a team that they have the track record, something that you can
lean on. You can lean on and say,
exactly.
Hey, we have this many units. This is what we have done, and use that. Okay, very good.
So I use all that. Pretty much I'm just talking on their behalf on what we have done. And to me, it's like everything starts, the relationship starts face to face. Because we sent like 1 million emails last year from Massive Capital, but that doesn't build a relationship. But when people see you in person, you have a conversation, and after that you start sending marketing. I think that's what changes the whole relationship. That's why I put myself out there, and I attend every single event. I'm everywhere.
Let's talk about the marketing a little bit, since you're handling that. So you handle the emails that go out. Do you also handle the social posts and all that stuff as well?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any background in that?
No.
You just took it and ran with it.
Whatever they needed, I got it.
You just did it. Wow. And how long have you been aligned with them?
2 years.
2 years. So you've been doing the marketing ever since you showed up there?
Yes. Because at the beginning, we didn't have anything. Like, the brand didn't exist. Right. Massive Capital didn't exist. So we start building the brand, and I started, like, at the beginning, it was me creating marketing. After that, I hired a digital marketing company, overseas VAs and a whole team.
They have VAs and everything, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I know that you nobody can just raise money for a deal. You absolutely can't do that. You have to be involved in other things. You're involved in the marketing, but I know you're also involved in the asset management. Talk about some of the things you've done in the asset management front.
Yes, I actually have an amazing story with the asset management. One property that we bought in Houston, classy property, C location, very rough area. And I remember the first time that I walked the property, this was like noon during the day. And I felt so scared to walk the property. I feel like somebody was going to stab me from the back. It was just rough.
That bad, huh? Wow.
Trash in the parking lot, mattresses by the dumpsters. Wow. It was awful. I was like, there's no way. So, I mean, of course, we started working on the property. And funny thing, a year later, I was doing a showing for a potential tenant, because it's a smaller unit. It's a 24 unit. So we pretty much, I do the asset management on that one. And I was doing a tour for one of the potential tenants, and this was at 8 at night. And she asked me, "Can you come that late because I'm working?" And I was like, "Sure." So I went, and it was a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
I felt safe on the property.
You guys had turned it around and cleaned it up, and yeah. Well, good for you. Fantastic. How long of a period of time? How long did it take?
It was like, a year.
A year. It took a year, yeah. That was a small 24 unit. What's your favorite part? Let's start there. That's easier. What do you enjoy the most about what you do?
Building connections, building relationships
You're a people
with
person.
People.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You're the extrovert.
Yes.
Which is why you don't love the spreadsheets and the underwriting and all that crap. You love the communication. Same here. Okay, now, that was a favorite. What's the most challenging? Or did I already answer it?
Yes.
It's the numbers. I mean, this business is numbers, though, guys. I mean, it's primarily empirical. You get the numbers right, you ask all the right questions. Pretty hard to make a big mistake, but it requires communication. I mean, you noticed I made you get up at my boot camp and meet people, right?
Yes.
It requires networking, and for some people that is like painful if they're introverts. But they always thank me afterwards. But yeah, I make you get up and meet people because it's so freaking important. I tell my warriors, my new warriors, when they come on, I say, listen, meet as many warriors as you can, build relationships with as many as you can, because, and I tell them, this is going to sound crazy, but that is more important than learning the business. Do you agree? It's the connection.
100%.
Yeah.
It's no how, it's who.
It's who. That's it. That's a book, right? It absolutely is not how, it's who. And that's absolutely true. And it absolutely applies in this business. And I tell them, I know it's going to sound nuts, but I don't care if you go through the course materials, any of that. Get out there and meet warriors. And so when we discovered that our most successful warriors by far are the ones that are most connected in the community, like the ones you're working with, we started doing things to facilitate those connections. Like, we've got warrior-only events, and we connect people wherever they live, and we do breakout sessions for our warriors. But anyway, we took it and ran with it because it's such a critical piece of this business.
Exactly. I always say we're one connection away from a completely different life.
Oh, I love that. That's a great quote. Yeah, I love that. You absolutely are right. But you got to push yourself. You got to have a little courage and get out there and push yourself. So, we have a lot of people that listen to this show that were where you were before you got into real estate. And for whatever reason, they haven't taken action. They know they need to take action. They need to do something. What words of advice would you have for them?
You need to stop thinking on yourself. Because it's so easy to be caught up on fear or don't want to put yourself out there because you're thinking on yourself. But when you start thinking about others, how you're going to impact your family, communities, everybody around you, that's when you have the courage to put yourself out there and take massive action.
Yeah. That's my catchphrase, massive freaking action, which you have done, by the way. But no, you're right. When you're focused inwardly, people that are depressed are always focused in the mirror looking at themselves. And the way to get out of that and to do, actually take action in this business is you focus outwardly and you focus on what matters to you. By the way, you're very driven. What's your why?
So I'm an immigrant, so I want to make the effort that my parents did of coming to this country worth.
So they came to this country, it was scary, and you want to make that worthwhile.
Yes.
You want to honor them by
Exactly.
succeeding.
I feel like they sacrificed their lives to give us this opportunity to come to this country. And if I don't do anything with my life, what was that effort for?
That's a great why. That is a great why. Well, I told you, my mom immigrated with my brother and I by herself from Europe. I remember coming across on a big ship, and I remember her crying when she saw the Statue of Liberty. True story. Because she was crying. I was worried. Why? That's the only memory I have of, this is 58 years ago. I was 6. So, that's a beautiful why. When you came across these warriors that you're aligned with now, talk about what you looked for in team members, because, this is a team sport. You know that. You heard me say it dozens of times at my boot camps, on my podcast, a team sport. It's who you know. And so what impacted you in those relationships? What did you see that made you want to align with them?
I would say it was more like values, their heart, their mission, their why. Because when I came to the boot camp, it was like full of amazing people, brilliant people who was crushing it. And that's important, but I feel like it was a lot of that. So I was looking for people who was more aligned in my goals, my values, but also somebody who was interested on my success.
So when you went to the boot camp, it was probably overwhelming. You didn't know anybody, and so you started doing these events. You came across these guys. You saw that you had similar values, similar core values. That's critical first step. And and they were also interested in your success. So everybody wants to support everybody. So it's a we all help each other. A rising tide lifts all ships, kind of a thing. Okay, that's good. I think I could add something because I know those guys, and I think they're really authentic as well. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they've got big hearts. So,
Yes,
yeah.
for sure.
So everybody thinks that this is all golden and nothing ever goes wrong. And we all know that's not the case. Okay, why don't you talk about a war story when you got your butt kicked, or you had I call them seminars. So talk about one of those and what happened.
Yes. So one property that we have in Houston, 219 units. It caught on fire.
Oh wow.
We had to do it was on bridge debt. So it was then the co-sponsors that we did this partnership with. They steal from the bank account like 200.
Oh my God.
So it was part of the cash flow. So of course the property got really affected. Then they were not communicating with their investors at all. So their investors are coming to us like, hey, what's happening? And we're like, well, we ended up taking over the property, taking over with the taking over from with the investors, sending communication to them, explaining everything that was happening and how we were gonna turn that around. And then
you're in the midst of turning it around right now.
Yes.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was involved in the CapEx as well. I mean, it was a Class C property.
So CapEx, guys, is the fix up. It's the renovations you do to a property. So you were involved in helping with manage the value add component where you're doing capital expenditures to improve the property. Okay.
Right. And when we took over that property with other co-sponsors, I mean, the due diligence phase was already completed. So when we started doing the CapEx, all the renovations, so many units were in really bad shape.
Oh, you weren't aware of that.
Yes.
I see. Yeah. So that's a lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dangerous when you get involved in a deal later on and it's in the process because, yeah, we had, I tell people try to be on the due diligence, walk every single unit, and but you're turning it around.
Yes.
So, yeah. Good.
And the investors are very happy.
Yeah. Good.
With everything that we are doing, all the communication, because they get to see the bad, the ugly, everything. So they are very happy.
If you could go back in time to when you first got to the States or earlier or whenever, any point in time, and tell younger Jazmin something, is there anything you'd do differently?
I will start investing in myself sooner.
In your training and learning and all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. That's
working on the things that nobody can take away from me.
Oh, that's good. That's really good advice. So how did you get over the fear of pushing forward in multifamily and raising money and doing these things that you had no idea of initially? How'd you get past that fear? I'm sure a lot of women wonder how you got past the fear.
Yeah, I feel like it's normal for us to have that fear, but we just need to brush it off.
Yeah.
To me, it's like it's normal to have fear. Of course, I don't want to do this. This is intimidating. But if I let it sink, then I will never do anything. So to me, it's like I recognize I'm scared. I'm nervous right now. I don't want to do it. But let me brush it off and let me do it.
Listen, everybody has fear, right?
Yes.
Successful people push through in spite of it, as evidenced by you sitting here. And, the people that don't succeed, let it stop them. They say F everything and run instead of face everything and rise, which is what you do. So love it. So I want to circle back to the land thing for a minute because you're really doing well with that. Was that just from going out and doing it? Did you see other people doing it? How did that come together?
No, I think it was more like I wasn't ready to do fix and flip because I don't have any contractor background. I didn't want to mess with all that. I wasn't ready to buy. I was debating like buying a fourplex, living one side.
Sure. House hack that? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
but I wanted to do something like right now. So to me, it was like, let me do something really quick and then I'll figure it out. Let me take more time to decide what's next. But in the meantime, let me just pull my money out of the bank that is not making any money. And then I decide what I want to do in real estate.
So I'm just from my own personal curiosity, how you buy a piece of land, how do you sell it? I mean, how do you let people know it's available? What did you do to market your land?
Well, I have a whole database of people who are buying, and this is another thing. Of course, I'm on a mission to help people leave a legacy, and I feel with apartments, it's a certain level. Not everybody can invest on that. However, on land, I feel like some people want to just get their very first real estate property, and I'm able to help them. I'm able to finance and hold those notes for them.
Oh, so you're selling to somebody and just taking paper sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I just sell it for cash, but
Okay.
all my marketing, especially I really help my people. All my marketing is in Spanish. Some people don't have credit. Some people don't have social. So I just help them get their property.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Did you have any flaws or weaknesses that you had to push through to be a success? Were there any things that were really that you felt were holding you back that you had to turn around for yourself?
Also, it was more mentally, all those labels that, oh, I'm an immigrant, I shouldn't do it. Oh, I don't speak English, I shouldn't. And all these labels that society put on us, like, to me, was just like raping off those labels. And
so you felt them initially, but you moved forward in spite of them anyway?
Yes. And of course, we go back to my dad. I remember at one point, I was just not seeing the light. And he told me, I'm sorry that you're going through this, but I'm just going to tell you one thing. Somebody else in the same situation that you is winning. So I pretty much have to wipe out my tears and go figure it out.
That's great advice. He's a guy. Is he still with us?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. So why do you think people fail or give up?
Because they get so caught up on their head.
Yeah.
Most of the time, we don't know how we're going to do things. If you ask me, if you will tell me 10 years ago, you're going to be owning all these apartments and having all these units, doing all this, I wouldn't believe.
Right.
So I feel like when people fail, it's because they don't see how they're going to do it. And they get so caught up on their head.
Mm-hmm. If you're in your head, you're dead.
Yes.
Yeah, especially those of you, I love you, those of you that are analytical. Those of you that have to check off every single box before you make a move. And you know who you are, and I love you, and you're frankly some of the most successful people in this business. But you got to actually make a move, right?
Massive action.
Massive freaking action. So what are some common myths or lies or misconceptions that you may have heard before you got into real estate about real estate? Are there any things that you were told about real estate that are, inaccurate, but people may have told you before you got into it when you said, I'm going to get into real estate? Did you hear anything like that? Any negative stuff?
No negative. I will just say, for example, in the multifamily side, I hear so much like, getting capital raise capital. It's so easy. If you had a good team and if you have a good team and a good property, you can raise capital really easy. And that is absolutely not true.
No, it's not. No, you actually have to build relationships and have a track record and put together a great presentation and have a good, yes, you have to have a good deal. So do you have any favorite stories from this real estate path you've been on? Do you have any stories you like to share?
I've been just so focused on let me figure it out, doing it, and then out of the blue some people come to me and say thank you so much for taking massive action because you inspire me to do this, or thank you so much for sharing your story because I was going through this and I listened to you and that switch. So those are little things that have helped me a lot.
Nice. Now, you're a leader. What is a characteristic that you think every leader should possess? Or characteristics, plural.
One is building somebody else.
Good answer. Oh, that's such a good answer. Good answer. That's a big one. You help enough other people be wealthy, you'll be beyond wealthy. Yeah. We'll leave it at that. That's a fantastic answer. You know, what did you have to give up to be where you are right now? Sacrifice. What sacrifices did you have to make?
Well, I have to change a lot. I have to, so first of all, work on my mindset, put all my time, energy, and money in my mentors. You know, I call you mentor.
Thank you.
I have Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, putting myself in those rooms, being open to that people, and
being teachable, coachable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being comfortable surrounding yourself with these kind of people.
Yeah.
Because
it's a little scary.
Yes.
They're motivated. They're like, oh, let's go kill it, and for some people that it's a little intimidating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And I always had clear like what it helped me get my first 45,000 is not the same thing that is gonna help me get my first million, and my first the person who I was when I had my first million is not gonna be the person who's gonna help me my 10 million and so forth. So I feel like I'm always changing and I'm always adapting,
evolving
to the next level, and be open to unlock the next level.
Nice. And there's always another level. Level. If you could give my listeners and watchers one piece of advice, what might it be?
Take massive action, because you are one deal, one connection, one situation from a completely different life.
Yeah. If you lost everything today and had to build your business, rebuild in a brand new location with no contacts, maybe only $1,000 to get started, how would you do it?
I will just go look for the people who are crushing it in that location on any business.
Yeah, that's it.
Just
get around. You got to get around the people.
Yes.
Good answer. So what are you most excited about right now?
My community of women.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to help 1 million women create generational wealth through real estate, but also fostering personal, professional, and spiritual growth.
Nice. I know that you co-authored Powerful Female Immigrants, and you're the founder of She, I love it. That's just helping women. I love it. Yeah, when I was telling you in our warrior group, we've got this incredible group of women that meet and do deals together, and I've got women that are single parents, single household, raising kids, and they have thousands of units. It's super, super exciting. Do you have any morning habits that you do consistently to get you juiced for the day?
Yes.
Talk about that.
I just started a morning mastermind, because that's probably one of my struggles, having a morning routine. So I just joined a mastermind to help me build my morning routine.
And so what do you do?
So we start with gratitude.
Of course.
Reading, moving our body, and then we'll connect and have different...
Just like the Hal Elrod Miracle Morning stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. I just had him on the show recently. He just came out with a new version of his book, and my warriors all get a copy of his book because it's so important, and morning routine's critical. So what are the 3 best things about you, Jazmin?
One is my commitment. I'm all in. Whatever I'm doing, I'm all in.
It's in. You're in. There's no dipping a toe in the water. No 1 foot in, 1 foot out crap. No. It's done. It is freaking done.
Yes.
Okay. What else?
Second, I'm very loyal.
Very loyal?
Yes.
Agreed. Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
And the third one is just very willing to help somebody else build themselves. Nice.
Power moves to those who serve. I you saw at the Denver and the Orlando event, I had my Hall of Fame for Warriors, and we did a slide for each one, and every single one of them does something to make the world a better place. I was like, I started seeing that, and every single one does something philanthropic and to make the world a better place. It's a beautiful thing. So you've had some great mentors. Thank you for including me in that list. What do you think is one of the best pieces of advice you've ever gotten?
Yeah, one is where you put energy is where it grows.
Where you put your energy, anything you give your total energy to flourishes, but it's got to be total energy.
Yes.
That's right. All right, what else?
Nothing grows on one that you say all the time. In the comfort zone, nothing grows.
Yeah. The comfort zone's a nice warm place, and not a damn thing grows there. And we all know that.
That one. That is always on me, because every time I feel like I don't want to do this, and this is pulling me out of my comfort zone, I think about that one.
Tony Robbins has a quote: "The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the amount of discomfort you can take." And if you look back, and those of you listening, if you look back on anything amazing you've ever done, I promise you got uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, one more.
Somebody in the same situation that you are
is killing it.
Is killing it.
Yeah, your dad was a good one from your dad. I love that. So do you have any quotes that you love?
I actually have 3.
3? Okay, let's hear them.
One is, whatever you do, do it with all your heart, as doing it for the Lord, not for human matters.
Nice.
The second one is, it takes drastic steps to be successful. And the third one is, Lord, help me get one more.
Nice. Those are awesome. Those are the first one and the last one are Bible verses. Mm-hmm. I love it. Well, listen, Jazmin, I really appreciate you coming on the show. This has been a real treat. I know you flew all the way down here, so I'm really honored that you came down, and honored that you guys both attended my boot camp and suffered through my book and all of that. And I'm sure that you'll be sitting back on this couch in a couple of years with a few thousand more doors, because I think we're heading into some incredible opportunity. Do you feel that way as well?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, we've got this deal in San Antonio that we're getting it for $100,000 a door. The one next door sold for $137,000 a door. It's just insane what's out there right now. So really getting excited about opportunity. And so I really appreciate you coming down here. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me, Rod. Thank you for all the impact that you have had in my life, not just in real estate, but on my personal, spiritual growth. So thank you so much.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. And say hi to the boys for me.
I will.
All right, thanks.
So one other quick thing. We encounter so many people that are frankly frustrated. They're looking in the mirror and they're frustrated that they haven't been able to escape the rat race. They haven't been able to build cash flow to the point where they're able to have financial and time freedom with their families. And maybe they see other people buying real estate and creating, incredible cash flow, and they think, well, it's just scary. Buying apartments is intimidating. And I get it. See, that's why we created our Warrior Mentorship Program. They're our coaching students, and they've had extraordinary results. My students, I've been teaching about 5 years, and they own upwards of 140,000 units now that we know of, right? And we feel like it's just getting going. Now, we're looking to grow this group and really take it to the next level. And honestly believe that the greatest transfer of wealth could be upon us right now with this current economic environment. Everything's going on sale. So we're looking for people who want to follow a proven framework, really like a blueprint or a map, literally step by step. And then they're able to leverage our systems and our incredible network to raise money and equity, to find deals and close those deals and build partnerships, really nationwide. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become more in our incredible network and take advantage of the unbelievable opportunities that are upon us, you can apply to my Warrior Mentorship Program by texting the word CRUSH to 72345. Or you can go to mentorwithrod.com. And what we'll do is we'll set up a call so you can check us out and we can check you out and see if it's a fit. Now again, you can go to mentorwithrod.com or text the word CRUSH to 72345 to apply, and we will speak soon.